Different cultures have different ways of dealing with the loss of loved ones. Some people believe that physical pain is essential during the grieving process. In the primitive part of Indonesia, namely Wamena, located in Papua, situates one of the most powerful tribe, Dani. During funerals, they amputate their fingers and sometimes even their ears in memory of their loved ones. The ceremony requires subjects to smear ashes and clay on their body for a week without bathing. This cultural practice is called ikipalin. The finger cutting procedure can be done with or without tools. Traditionally, they would tie a string around the upper part of their fingers to discontinue blood flow, leaving the living tissues to die. After which, it would be cut off with tools such as knives. Those that choose not to use tools bite off their fingers instead. After the amputation, the wound will be treated with leaves of herbs to alleviate pain and avoid infection. Amputated fingers would then be cremated and ashes to be stored in a distinctive location.
The practice of finger cutting started in 1961. The Dani Tribe was first discovered by Lloyd Van Stone, and subsequently missionaries arrived at the Grand Valley after World War II with the purpose to spread Christianity. They discovered that the Dani Tribe was constantly at war, even with one another for resources, especially land for agriculture and territory. Conflicts were common as they fought for survival. Whenever a relative of the tribe passed away due to tensions caused by these war-related conflicts, female members of the tribe would cut a section of their fingers off in memory of the deceased. This was disturbing to the missionaries and Dutch officials, and they were determined to stop these issues. They managed to do it by the mid-1960s. Even though the practice of finger cutting is considered illegal today, most of the older generations of the tribe still practice it as a traditional ritual, as they believe that it is symbolic in freeing the powerful spirits of the deceased.
Females constitute the majority of those who practice this ritual. The thumbs as well as the first two fingers on at least one hand are never mutilated. With these leftover fingers and other usable stumps, women are still capable of executing simple gardening and embroidery work. On the other hand, no fingers of males are forcibly amputated. This was because men are considered to be of higher superiority in their tribe. Thus, heavier duties such as hunting, which requires all 10 fingers, were typically reserved for men. Only a handful of males practiced the ritual on their own accord to express their deep-seated sorrow for their loved ones. Therefore, the issue of gender inequality is rather evident here. Furthermore, women in the Dani tribe are often required to prioritize their families. This includes making extreme sacrifices for the sake of the family, such as finger mutilation. The different treatments between genders stems from the patriarchal nature of the tribe.
Dani's believe in animism, which implies that they strongly believe in the existence of spirits. People fear that if the deceased were powerful people, the essence would continue lingering in the village after they passed on. Hence, they would conduct sacrificial rituals in order to free the spirits of the deceased. The practice of finger cutting is therefore not an act of devotion to the deceased, but rather a system of averting disaster and manipulating the spirits in order to achieve or obtain what is desirable, personally or for the community. Furthermore, the Danis are extremely community-centric as their personal wants are aligned with the community's well-being, so the death of the relative would require the amputation of finger joints among females.
The Dani tribe's culture is not easily accepted by others. The Indonesian did not understand the Dani culture and tradition. For example, during the early 70s, under the Operation Penis God, the Indonesian government tried to discourage them from wearing their traditional costumes. Not only were their traditions scorned upon, many also viewed their rituals as something unacceptable. Certain Christian missionaries even attempted to convert the Dani tribe as they saw their beliefs as inferior. This perspective is highly ethnocentric as people evaluate the Dani tribe culture through their own lenses. In a New York Times article, the chairman of the anthropology department at the University of Cendrawasih is quoted as saying, "The Dani are being taught that these customs are sinful and that they are uncivilized." Bringing the context back into Singapore in the 21st century, our group feels that it is not possible for such a tradition to take place. The Dani tribe takes pride in self-sacrifice, but most Singaporeans do not feel that it is glamorous and needed. In addition, more people are concerned with the safety aspects of such a practice. This also results in biasness in the way modern civilians view the ritual. Ethnocentrism may not always be bad. If a particular practice or tradition has adverse impact on overall health, perhaps we should reconsider the practice. We have come to the end of our presentation. Thank you.